Our next story reads, am I, 50-year-old male, the a-hole for wanting to divorce my wife, a 45-year-old female, because she caused me to go to the ER? So my wife and I have been married for almost 20 years. We have a 16-year-old daughter, and life has been pretty good. We've had our ups and downs like any marriage, but we work together through it. We've even done marriage counseling a couple of times to get ourselves on the right track. When it comes to household chores, I've always cleaned the house, as I'm a bit OCD with cleaning due to growing up in a home with roaches as a kid. She still takes care of the laundry, and we split making dinners on days I'm off work, 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. Oh my god. Okay, that's crazy. Kiddo takes care of the dishes. Nice. So herein lies the issue. The wife is going through perimenopause. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I always thought it was premenopause, but it's spelled like perimenopause. And what's interesting is like this is the second time that I've seen this word this week, and so I'm convinced that it is a real word and not a typo, and that I'm just an idiot. So if someone wants to tell me I'm saying it wrong, otherwise I'm gonna keep saying, is it premenopause or perimenopause? Perimenopause? Oh God. I'm just gonna say premenopause and apologize to everyone else who is like listening to this and is like cringing super hard at the moment. The wife is going through premenopause. She's pretty super emotional and a bit unlike herself for the last 6 months or so. She's taking meds to help even out her hormones, but it's taking time. One day she's overly nice, the next day complaining about every little thing and getting all bent out of shape. So yesterday morning was one of her bad days. I forgot to set up the coffee pot to make coffee in the morning. When I went down, she was all bent out of shape over it. I tried my normal tactic of apologizing as I had a migraine and went to bed early and just forgot. I told her I would make coffee in a bit. I just woke up and needed a little bit to get the morning fog out of my head. Typical thing for me in the morning. She didn't like this answer, so as I went to sit on the couch, she threw her coffee cup at me, causing it to smash into my head, breaking and splitting my head open. At first, I was pissed that she actually threw something at me, like, what the but then I felt liquid, blood obviously, as I couldn't see it, going down my neck. I put my hand on it, pulled it back, thinking it was coffee, then I saw the blood. Of course, at the sight of this, my wife all of a sudden freaked out, screamed at my daughter to get a towel, all the while apologizing to me and crying, saying she was sorry. We headed to the emergency room and had our daughter drive as wife couldn't, as she was a hot mess. Luckily, it wasn't so deep that it needed stitches. They used that glue stuff. The thing is, I had a rough childhood and home life. I was physically abused by my mom all the way up until I left at 18. My wife knows this, and when she did what she did, it brought back all those memories so long ago forgotten. I love my wife, but I swore to myself I would never be in a place where I'd be abused ever again. And I don't know if I would be the a-hole if I filed for divorce because of this. I know her hormones are partially to blame, but I also know that she's an adult and responsible for her actions. I guess I'm just looking for some advice, wondering if I'm the a-hole if I decided to leave. Maybe I just needed to vent a little too. So we have a 20-year marriage. You guys know I'm always the first to avoid just dump him, like just break up. I really try to see if it's salvageable. I think a lot of things, even the most difficult things, can often be worked through. This one, I tend to not. I've never ever thought of causing physical harm to a partner before. No matter how angry I've been, and I've been hit. Even when I was hit, I never thought of hitting back. Not by my husband. Oh my God, let me clarify. Many people know my very first relationship was not a good one. And I just think that's so beyond a red flag. I don't think she missed. You know what I mean? I think that how can you be sorry? You absolutely meant to hit directly in the head. There's no way that was an accident. And that was likely very close range. And no amount of hormones. I mean, goodness, I still remember being very hormonal during my pregnancy, but that didn't stop me from understanding the structural integrity of ceramic coffeeware. I know that's going to cause a lot of pain if I throw it at someone, and hard enough to like crack the velocity in that throw, dude. She yeeted that thing. The reasoning was terrible too. I mean, Lord Almighty, if he really had like a horrific crime going on here, like he caught her like, or she caught him like flirting with the 16-year-old neighbor or something, or one of their daughter's friends, like, man, I'm still wouldn't justify it, but I could kind of see where that rage could manifest from, but that's taking it a little far. Again, you really are not going to hear me take a yeah, go ahead and go through with the divorce take very often. But I'm also not in the business of making excuses for physical abuse or perpetuating cycles of violence. And I think, to be honest with you, obviously there would be a lot of grief for that 16-year-old girl, but I think that it would really teach her a strong lesson if he went through with it, because the alternative is if he stays with her, that young daughter who witnessed and was a part of the entire thing may grow up thinking like, well, this is just a part of love. May very well allow that to happen to her. Sometimes the hardest things you have to do as a parent involve stuff like this. Major life changes so that your child can have a better life than you had. You know, he made a promise to himself long before he met his wife. And he needs to stay true to that, in my opinion. But I want to hear from you. Don't feel like you have the wrong opinion if you do think that this is something that could be worked through, right? Because again, I don't even know how to say premenopause, so I may very well be super ignorant to it. There may be quite a level of psychosis that occurs. I know that there are a lot of people who have experienced similar episodes when they were off their meds, for example, or introduced to a new medication that caused them to behave in a way that was truly like a once in a lifetime thing, and they deserve forgiveness. Maybe some of you see this differently, and maybe some of you have experienced premenopause or have known someone intimately close to you who's experienced it, and you know that this is a thing, and you know that they feel extremely guilty for some of the things that they did during that time. But I'm going to leave it to you. Let's go ahead and have a little chat-wide vote. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit the gavel on our last decision. I think that we pretty much overall decided neither of them were actually the a-hole. It was like gentle partner shaming, and if that's not what you guys think, that's just what I'm deciding. So everybody vote. This is an am I the a-hole situation. So to this gentleman who wants to divorce his wife, who sent him to the ER, go ahead and vote YTA if you think he's the a-hole, NTA if you think he is not the a-hole, ESH if everyone sucks here, or NAH, which is no a-holes here. And if you vote that way, you have to explain yourself in the comments, because there's definitely one a-hole here. Certainly one. Also, follow-up question for anyone who feels like answering: what would be a good way to make up for doing something like this? How do you make up for cracking someone in the head with a mug of coffee? I don't know. Wait, where did she get the mug of coffee? Oh, it must have been an empty mug of coffee. And then his brain was just like, there's got to be like coffee in here somehow, because he just got hit in the head. So she just threw the empty cup. All right. I think in the court of Dadvocate, we have decided through jury trial that this man is not the a-hole. We allow this divorce. In fact, As a legal officiant, I declare you divorced. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that power. I can only marry people. I can't divorce people. I don't have that much power. I can baptize people, though.